All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and we are going to be in the 135-pound division where there's a lot of talk, man. A lot of talk about Gervonta Davis and what Gervonta Davis will not do. Specifically, people rumoring that he is ducking Shakur Steveson, does not want that fight, does not want the fight with the soon-to-be WBO lightweight champion once he beats Brenachek, and that is Keyshawn Davis, that he doesn't really want to fight any of those guys. I'm here to tell you that I had a conversation with Gervonta Davis's team. I've had a conversation with Shakur Steveson myself, and that fight is not what people are claiming it is, and that discussion that they've had in the past about this fight are not what people are representing, so we're going to clear that up in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, look, man, Gervonta Davis is very clear that he intends to fight Shakur Steveson, that he intends to fight Keyshawn Davis and anybody else in the lightweight division, despite these consistent rumors that he has said otherwise. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. And thank you to everybody that supports and the super thanks. It's a great way to support the channel. Very, very important for the channel. But let's get into this. So I had a discussion with Kenny Ellis and Shakur Steveson, I want to say maybe 6 months ago. It was kind of a big deal in the YouTube boxing streets because it was a time where Shakur Steveson was talking directly to Gervonta's team about setting up a fight with each other. Now, there have been a lot of questions. Why hasn't Gervonta Davis sent a contract to Shakur? Why hasn't he acted like he wants to fight Shakur? This fight with Lamont Roach is ridiculous. He should be fighting Shakur Steveson. If you go back and listen to the interview that I did with Shakur Steveson was pretty clear when he said, yes, I am going to fight Gervonta Davis, but I'm not going to fight Gervonta Davis next. Shakur Steveson at the time was trying to figure out what he was going to do with his career. Was he going to stay with Bob Arum? Was he going to go to Golden Boy? Was he going to go to Matchroom? At the time of this conversation, he did not even have a promotional home yet to really know what the circumstance was going to be. So we already knew, though, that if Shakur Steveson is going to fight Gervonta, it's going to be on the network that Gervonta Davis fights on. It's not going to be on the network that Shakur fights on. So since Shakur wasn't signing with the PBC and Shakur decided to sign with Eddie Hearn, then Eddie Hearn has his own plans for Shakur Steveson, and throwing Shakur Steveson away to Gervonta Davis, and I don't mean like not believing he can win, but sending him over there to Amazon before Eddie Hearn has had any fights with him or any opportunity to work with and earn money from Shakur Steveson, to expect him to throw him right into that on Shakur's side, it's just unreasonable. And like when we talk about boxing on YouTube and these type of platforms, one thing that always amazes me is how unreasonable people can be. How people, when they talk about boxing matches, act as if you can just wave a wand and then the fight, the whole fight is done 5 seconds after you have an initial conversation. So literally, this is what you see. I saw Gervonta's team says, okay, can you fight in November if this thing falls through with Vasily Lomachenko, right? So he was like, hey, I want to fight you in November. Obviously, it would have been last November, but this is Kenny Ellis talking, right? Who was a trainer of Gervonta. It's not Al Heyman talking. So even though Kenny is abreast of the information, you know, it's not something where you've got a real hard connection to the guy that's going to make the fight and get it popping. There's still time and still things that you have to work out with, right? You have to work out. But boxing media, especially on YouTube, acts as if, hey, you said yesterday that you wanted to fight Shakur Steveson. Today it's been 2 whole days. Where's the contract? Why hasn't it been signed yet? I want to ask y'all for something. If you go and you agree with a carpenter to build your house, and you say, hey, I've got $300,000. I want you to build this house. And he says, okay, yeah, I think we can do that. Now, somebody from the outside would walk up to you and say, hey, you got that contract for that house. You said that you would do it. It's already been 2 days. Why isn't the house built? Why haven't they started working on the house? Why hasn't, they started tearing down the house already that's on the property to rebuild the new house? How come it's already 2 days? Well, most people would understand, well, there's no way you're going to get all of those different people that are necessary to build that house together and get everything that they need sorted with the materials, with the floor plan. There's no way they're going to do that in 2 days. That, even though building a house may be more complicated than putting together a boxing match, that premise still applies. That it's going to take time. You're going to see, and this has always been the case, never a period in boxing where it did not take some time for fights to get made. Now, early on, they may fight 5-6 times, 5-6 times 3 or 4 times a month. Like there are guys who are fighting like that. But if you look at the heavyweight fights, like with Jack Dempsey went he fought 1 time a year, because you start paying these guys that type of money and you've got that amount of business flowing around them, sponsorships, all kind of different stuff, that it can slow down the process. And it was slowing down the process in the 1930s. No different than today. But Gervonta Davis has stayed strong on his desire to fight everybody in that division. Now, people that are pointing to Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, you ain't got a lot to say, seeing as those guys look like they're heading to 147 and Turkey about to feed them boys to the wolves. One other thing that you got to be really, really careful about when you go fight for Turkey Al-Sheikh, man. That man don't care about you winning or losing. That's his best attribute, is that he's a terrible matchmaker. But we'll see how as things go on. Shakur is going to be over there. I can't recall when his first fight is, but it's going to be soon. Shakur is going to, I know he had some hand surgery or whatever. He's going to fight. And the thing to look for is, does he fight anywhere near when Gervonta Davis fights? Now, Gervonta is going to be fighting on March 1st, which is just about a month away. If Shakur Steveson has something, let's say by May, if he could fight by May, then boom, they're still on the fight schedule and that thing can happen. But, it's a long time. There's a lot of other people in that lightweight division coming up too. Keyshawn Davis is more than likely going to get Beranicek. You still have Lomachenko, who holds the IBF belt. We'll see what he does. But I'm confident and comfortable that Gervonta Davis is he's going to fight these guys. If he has to work with Turkey Al-Sheikh to get the fights done, honestly, that's unfortunate for fight fans, because we already know that Shakur and Gervonta by themselves are going to be a profitable fight. So there's no need to shovel it off to Saudi Arabia in the middle of the afternoon. But, like you say, man, beggars can't be choosers. And I am definitely out here, wanting the best for boxing, and hopefully we can get this soon. But please stop listening. Don't listen to these people that claim fights can be made in 36 seconds, because it's all a bunch of PR, man. It's just a bunch of marketing used for one fighter to tear down another fighter, or for somebody to build up a fighter. You get what it is. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.